So I guess my first question is, do y'all think all the stuff we doing actually going to like have some kind of impact like in the future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I believe it. Yeah.
Why? It's preparing us for the.
Um, you could ask why.
Drop a one in the chat if you believe that it's going to make a real difference. Drop a two in the chat if you don't.
All right. Um.
A lot of ones. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, but for me, it's like I'm kind of like a one and a two because we did a lot so far, but it always feel like we could do so much more. You know, it's like the work is never done. It's like you can't get comfortable with where you at and how much you've accomplished because once you get comfortable, it's like you could find yourself back at square one. So it's like yeah, we doing good so far, but it's like so much more we could do. So
You're right, Jamil. There is a lot we can do, and we shouldn't get comfortable where we're at right now. So we just gotta continue to keep pushing.
we gotta keep forcing.
And
Hmm?
I think it's important to keep forcing the issue, like, and just keep bringing awareness. Because like the moment things die down, like all the protests and stuff, like the moment it dies down, like people forget about it, and it's like
Yep.
no real change comes. Like even with like the NBA, you see all the basketball players, like all in their interviews, they just talk about the police officers that killed Breonna Taylor, and just like continue to bring awareness to those different issues, just so like it doesn't die down, and those people don't get away with what they did wrong. So I think that's kind of what we gotta do. Just keep pushing at what it is we're trying to accomplish. And if we keep doing that, then like I think we can make real change.
Sir, that's great.
But we
Yeah.
also have to have like a real action plan. I don't know. What y'all think? I don't know. I don't want to keep talking. I want to know what y'all think.
Think about.
Like what we doing so far, and like how much of an impact it has, and should we keep pushing the issue as hard as we are, or should we like slow down and just let the results come?
Let the results come.
The results come. I feel like we should continue to plan more. Um, we could take a lot of risks though, like today, how we're doing something differently. Continue to, like we should continue to make ourselves uncomfortable so we can learn and learn from learn from our mistakes and stuff like that. So yeah.
I feel as though if we keep pushing what we're trying to do, they will soon understand what we're doing. Basically, the issue will finally pop up in their head, and then we'll actually see change because the issue keep getting brung up. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Persistence, man. You were saying something, Car?
Well, I don't have too much to say, but I was just gonna say that it just depends on how you look at it, because some people might think that what we do might not be a lot, and some people it might be more than they ever were able to do. So
Yeah,
it just depends on how you look on it.
most definitely.
I think another good thing Isaiah said was like making ourselves uncomfortable and getting outside our comfort zone, because like that's when you know you're making real progress. Like if you're just comfortable with everything you're doing, then like you're not really going nowhere. You're not really improving. So we gotta make ourselves uncomfortable and like just keep doing things, even no matter how it makes us feel. We gotta keep doing the things that we know is right and keep planning and keep pushing at it. Because I think if you do that, you'll see bigger results sooner. So yeah, that's all I had to say.
That's great to know. I'm pretty sure that was more than 10 minutes. But that was great though. That wasn't so bad. We got to learn to increase interaction. Anybody want to carry it for 10 minutes? Next.
I will.
Ooh, let's go, Courtney.
Not.
I don't mean to cut y'all off, but I think y'all shouldn't rush it. If somebody starts and they need to go over 10 minutes, I think that that's good because that means that what they're touching on, y'all need to listen and respond, keep responding because y'all doing an amazing job. So I don't think y'all should rush it. If y'all need to take more than 10 minutes, then y'all take it because this is important and y'all voices is important and it need to be heard. And I'm not going to say anything else on y'all session. But I did want to just say that I commend each and every one of you, and I think that y'all doing an amazing job. And if y'all need to take more than 10 minutes, I think y'all should do that. And I'm sorry, that's it.
10 minutes is just guaranteed. Yeah.
What are y'all getting out of this?
What are we getting out of this?
What do you mean by like out of everything we're doing?
Y'all, yes. Do y'all feel like y'all learning? What do y'all learning and the lessons that y'all got out of it? What are y'all learning from?
I feel like the work we do is good. Like it's satisfying. Everything we do, especially with the police reform stuff like this, like and getting to talk to them and stuff.
Do you feel like you know more now?
Yeah,
like,
I learned like
from others' perspective.
I mean, yeah, I learned a lot. Like talking to different police officers and stuff like that. Just hearing the other side of the narrative, because like the media is only going to tell you like we always talk about, the media only going to tell you so much. So it's like being able to hear from the other side and get like that firsthand perspective. I think it was really good, and just like not judging and just listening to each other. I think I learned a lot from that.
Most definitely. I feel like what we're doing is important and it's dope because people see what we're doing. Like you might not think people know what you're doing, or man, people are viewing, people are watching. A lot of people tell me that they are just feeling more encouraged by like what I'm doing and stuff. Just little subtle stuff, but it's just dope how what we do every day, it might don't seem like a lot, but others are really looking and like, wow, man, you feel me? So, yeah.
I feel as though what he's saying, yeah, what we do is important. Like he said, some people might don't see it as a big deal, but other people do. What we find important might not be important to another person. And and we learn something new every day, not even from the police side, but from our group, their perspective on the problems or the issues that we're bringing up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You can call some names.
I feel as though that I personally like hearing other people's opinions on stuff. I know that ours alone can make an impact, but I think when we come together is way more better. No matter what you do, and I feel as though people should do it more. Just like Tamil said, we get to hear each other out, and as well as just open our ideas. Sometimes we don't question, sometimes certain questions just don't pop into our heads, and another person might have it, and so they might be able to speak on something that you probably didn't feel comfortable speaking on or you didn't know about, and you just learn as you go. So I feel though no matter what, whether it's big or small, I'm definitely learning something. We all are.
Logan.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your thought?
What are you getting at?
Are you listening?
But
We'll come back to you.
yes.
Ronald,
Yeah.
what are you getting out of this?
I learned that because at first what the police was doing, I really didn't care, but the more we talked about it, like I figured out that it was affecting me too. So
Right. Selena?
Can you pause on that?
Wait, did it? Okay. Me personally, I learned more stuff than what I thought. Like, it's not all police officers not bad. Um, Also, like meeting the mayor and stuff like that. Like, that's something a person like dream of seeing. So, or just dreaming to talk about. So, I'm getting, a lot of good things out of it that a normal teenager probably won't get. But yeah.
Yes, sir.
DeMontes. Come on, 14.
Stop. I think the same thing that like Selena said, because like or it's like what we see with social media put out, like that we would think that all police is bad and they not. And I feel as though like that we like what we are trying to get to is like make a change so that we don't have to keep going through what we go through with the police and stuff.
Okay. Who am I missing? William.
You're gonna have to type say that, Logan.
William's a new one too.
William.
Yeah.
Was you listening?
What was the question?
Oh gosh. The question was, what do you feel like you're getting out of this? Everything that you have learned, do you feel like it's affecting you in the real world? Hello.
William, Courtney's talking to you. Let's wait on William. William, we're gonna wait on William because we need him.
I'll come
That's right, Courtney. That's right.
Is
right.
somebody gonna read what Logan said?
Can I come back to the? Can y'all come back to me?
I'm gonna read what
Read
I learned a lot from police reform session. I learned that officers were raised to kill, been around a lot of trauma. Also, I learned that they also could be traumatized and they react off of that. That's what he said. Now back to you, William.
Basically, can I say better? Like better how I said it.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean it like that. I was saying, I learned that police officers, they either were like born, you could be taught racism, like they was probably like from their parents and stuff, or their parents would probably beat on them, or they see somebody kill somebody, and then they just grow up off of it, the hate, black people or whatever race. And so when they, encounter a situation like that, they react to what they were growing up off of. And also I learned that they could be traumatized from seeing some stuff as being a police officer and they just react. Hey.
Okay.
Was I breaking up?
No.
All right.
William.
Well, what I learned is police is like when something happens, they don't always get there on time.
They talking about from the police reform.
Yeah, like they don't always get there on time.
Okay.
They don't really get there on time.
That's it? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the second police reform too, so.
Oh yeah,
Thank
he
you.
hasn't been at all the reforms, so he don't really. He probably didn't get everything you guys got. He started late.
Oh my
So we'll
God.
talk. And thank you.
Thank you,
Cool.
William. Kari?
Yeah. Well, I learned a lot from an actual officer's perspective, and it was a good learning experience overall. Because at my school we don't go over the topics too much, and when we do, it's mostly like the newspaper headlines and like the bystanders or like the person that's affected. Like we're not, I don't want to say victim, but the person that encountered it that wasn't an officer's perspective. But it was good seeing it from an actual officer's perspective, and we had the interview and like things like that.
Okay. That was dope.
I think that's everybody.
That was everybody, man.
Somebody else can take over.
Who wants to lead next?
Do anybody else want to take the spotlight and ask a question? That was Courtney's spotlight, but she did really well. Everyone that went did really well. So who else want to take the spotlight and ask questions? Popcorn, somebody, Courtney.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm going to popcorn Chastity.
Oh.
I honestly have no idea what the topic is.
It's police reform.
Okay, we're still on that.
Yep.
Okay. We talk about a lot of things, y'all, so I get confused on what specifically. So now that when we first started this, I mentioned mental health. That's what I was really stuck on. So now after talking to officers, do you think that the more that we spread the word about mental health not being mandatory, the more that, they might vouch for us, just like, Officer Gerard, not vouch for us, but, agree. And, I don't know how to say it.
Let me give y'all some good news. Officer Gerard said they're working on doing that at his station, guys. So you guys did a good job. I want to congratulate you guys on that. I forgot to give y'all the update. He sent me an email. He said they are working on making it mandatory at the Southwestern District. So kudos to all of you. Yes, Chastity. Kudos. So y'all have made a change. You guys, the work that you're doing, you've made a change. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off, but I did want to give you guys. I was waiting for Officer Gerard to come on. I know he's running a little bit behind, but yeah, I wanted to, let him tell you guys. But he said they are working on some things at his station, but we want to make it for every station, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's sort of, my point. Do you guys think the more, just like we spoke to Officer Gerard about it, and now, he's pressing for it, do you guys think that we should continue to do that and more officers will respond just like Officer Gerard?
Yes.
Can you explain why?
Because I feel as though, yes, because they probably wouldn't want to keep hearing like the same thing, and they know that they could help us like make a change for is like requiring the mental health thing.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I'll go. So like I understand what you're saying about like pushing like mental health and that idea, and I think it's important that we do, but we can't. I don't think we can get caught up in like letting that be the only thing. we push, kind of like, because it after a while it kind of sounds like, I understand it's not what we're doing, but it kind of sounds like that's the only, like, we're using mental health as like the reason certain things happen between like police officers and their interactions with people. So I think we kind of got to bring awareness to like a lot of different things, but I think mental health is one of those things. But we can't let that be like we can't let that look like the reason. Like, we can't let that look like that's the reason we believe that all these things are happening. So like we got to kind of focus on all different aspects, like just simple interactions between officers and people. Like when we spoke to Officer Gerard the first time, he talked about how like when you do your training, they don't get to like any like interaction with the people in the communities at all. It's just you get thrown straight into the fire. So I think we got to focus on that aspect as well. Yeah.
Great job. Tamia.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Jaquan.
I was gonna go anyway. Yeah, I feel like the more persistent we are with pushing our narrative, the more people will come into a better understanding of what we're trying to accomplish. We just need to be able to make it sound good when we're presenting it to these officers, and just, you know, what's the word? Basically have a plan whenever we present it to officers or people who can really change how the officers are dealt with. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, I know I just spoke, but like I don't want us to feel like we have to convince officers to like do the right thing, or like convince like city council and like those people in power to do the right thing. I feel like we shouldn't be convincing them. We should be bringing to light the truth, like bringing to light the facts, and just letting them decide to do right from wrong. It's just by us being young people, it's like showing that we know and we see everything that's going on. It should make them want to change and do the right thing instead of us having to like present it in a way so it's like us begging them to do the right thing, if that makes sense.
It does, man. You get either popcorn names or we could switch who gets the spotlight.
Oh, my bad. Whatever y'all feel comfortable with. Selena?
I mean, I think if we do consistently keep pushing like how we already pushing it, but push it more and more and more, I think it will get out more than what it's already getting out as. I think when he was like convincing the police officers to do better, I think we were also trying to convince them like to get mental health. You know, let them get a therapist. We're trying to like listen. It's okay to seek help. It's okay to talk to someone else about you know what you're going through. Like everyone needs somebody to talk to. So if you're a police officer, you saying things day and night, you should want to open up to someone and talk to someone about what's going on mentally, because that's all you pretty much need, I feel as though, when you're a police officer, because not everyone went through what they're going through, especially like, you know what I'm saying? They need mental health more than an average person does, because you seeing someone dead in the middle of the street, you gotta go up to that and look at that, or hearing a baby getting, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's so much stuff they go through as an individual. They should want to get help. That's it. Did I call someone else? Oh, I can't see all you. Hold on, let me look. All right, we got him, we got her. Okay, we gonna wait. Ooh, I don't know who to call. Logan. Yeah, I'm gonna call Logan.
I keep calling me.
Hey, you want me to call? I call somebody else.
No, say it again.
Oh, I just called
I
somebody else.
think Logan already. Did you already go, Logan?
I think he did. About the
Hey,
mental health. Did you go?
say it again. Y'all breaking up.
I mean, you going in and out just a little bit.
Yeah, y'all breaking up. I can't hear y'all.
I call somebody else there. I call on Kari or something. Yeah, I'm gonna call on Kari.
Can you ask? Wait, what was the? Can you ask the question again? Sorry.
You want to ask me? They want you to ask the questions. It's on you for a spotlight. So
It's
you
on-
ask the other group members whatever you want to ask them in regards to police reform.
All right, yeah.
Do you guys feel like I didn't do the research, so I don't know exactly how long it is, but do you guys feel like officers should get a longer sentence or penalty or something like that when they turn off body cameras?
Ooh.
I'm not sure how long it is, but do you guys feel like it should be longer, or should there be a punishment at all if they turn off or remove their body cameras or anything like that?
I think that should be immediate punishment. Me myself. You guys can drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like there should be a tougher punishment. I know that they get reprimanded on it, but we do need to see what is the actual. I know they lose vacation days. They get time off, no pay. Is what the commissioner told us. But to what extent does that continue to happen? You know what I mean? That is an amazing question, Kari. And that's something that we need to look more into because there is a lot of body worn cameras being turned off, and that has a lot to do with the reform that we're trying to bring about. And we need to make sure that there are stiffer punishments, even during the first time. If you're interacting with a resident and you're turning off your body worn camera, what purpose are you turning that off for? Is it social injustice? Is it racial profiling? What are you turning off your body worn camera? It should not be touched.
It's almost like they're covering up, or they just don't want whatever. If it's going to go public or anything, they don't want that group of people or any person to see it. They don't want. I don't know. Yeah.
So we got in the chats, we got a lot of ones in the chats for the guys that's viewing and can't see. There are a lot of ones. There are a lot of ones in the chat. Everyone agreed that there should be stiffer punishments other than just losing vacation days and time off, no pay. But to what extent? I believe it depends on, were there any accusations made? The people that they were interviewing, they need to be questioned, by the police, by what is it, what is the services called that investigates the police? I can't remember. It's on the top of my head, but people need to be interviewed. What happened during that interaction? There needs to be accountability for turning off body worn cameras. And Kari, that was an amazing subject to touch. We did briefly go over that with the commissioner, but we haven't really touched on that a lot. And that's keeping them accountable. We need the police. Yes, we do. We're not against the police, but we want to hold them accountable to protect and to serve us.
Yeah, and back to what you said about it depends on what they did. I agree with that because it's different if somebody if it's somebody that just happened to forget it or something like that. I don't know how that works, but if it's like somebody like got murdered or like died or something like that, and they're like getting accused of that and they turned it off. Those are different, but there should be a penalty in my opinion, and I think there is, but yeah.
Great question.
I think can I speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it depends. I think the charges that the punishment officer receive should depend on what type of situation the person that they arrested was in. So say you get arrested on drug charges and big drug charges, but you get pulled over and it's a bunch of drugs found in your car. But at the time when you were pulled over, the officer's body cam wasn't on. I think stuff like that should be a higher level of punishment because of the severity of the situation, or if somebody gets killed and the officer's body cam wasn't on, I think the severity of the situation should require a higher punishment than if you pull somebody over and you just write them a ticket, but your body cam wasn't on. I don't think that should be as serious as if somebody ends up dead or if somebody receives like big charges. But that's just me.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I feel as though once you turn your body camera on, you should not be able to turn it off, because there are a lot of things that happened in the past when they can plant drugs in your car or do stuff just because their body camera off and it's not showing what they're doing on their side. And then they can just turn it back on and say, oh, the drugs they've been here. But why was your body camera off? So I think they shouldn't be able to turn their body camera off when they turn it on.
Yeah, I most definitely agree with that. I feel like they should really either get fired or suspended for a huge amount of time, because that's like a fatal decision right there. There's a lot of cases where the body cams was turned off and crazy stuff happened. So yeah, I feel like they should get a harsh penalty. Montez, you could take it away, man.
All right. So I feel as though, my question is, like, don't you know how say if an officer do something bad, right? Do you think, like, should they stay in jail? No, never mind. Let me rephrase that. No, this was my question. Don't you know how that officer killed George Floyd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was re-asked, do y'all think he should have got bail or not? Like, should officers that do stuff like that, should they stay in jail or should they get bail?
Okay. So, officers who commit huge crimes, should they be allowed bail?
I don't believe it. I don't believe they should be getting no bail. I believe that they should get a no bail just like a regular citizen would get a no bail.
Okay.
I agree. I agree with that.
I'm gonna call on Selena.
Drop some numbers in the chat so we can have this data. One's if you, before he calls on Selena, make sure you guys do the survey. If you believe that officers should get a no bail, put a 1 in the chat. If you believe that officers should be left home until they go to court for murder, put a 2 in the chat. We got a lot of ones, all ones in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, Officer Gerard.
Hey,
Hey.
I didn't want to interrupt. How y'all doing?
Oh, we good. It's nice seeing you in your uniform.
Appreciate it. How's everybody doing? Everybody good?
Yeah. Before Selena go, Officer Gerard, I remember you was sent me an email. You were saying something about some changes you guys were beginning to make in your department. I believe it was on mental health and things like that. Can you fill them in a little bit about that, if that's okay?
Yeah. As far as the health and wellness section, we're trying to make that like a requirement, but it's a long shot. I mean, it's going to take a minute for the word to spread. But my part to try to get the word up there to the top ranks, the people who actually make the heavy decisions and everything like that. But it's getting there. It's getting there.
Thank you so much. See, they were so happy. I told them about it before you got on.
Yeah,
they were happy. It's hope. It makes them feel good about the work that they're doing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh God, DeMontez, reposition us.
Huh? Like restate my question?
No, like
Oh, I was calling on Selena. What was her opinion on what I said?
Oh, okay. My opinion. Okay, so personally, I feel as though they should get as long as they use like a regular person should get. I mean, it shouldn't be no excuses of, oh, because he's a police officer, he should get bail, or oh, because he worked in the force. No, he should just sit there like a normal person, which he is, just because he's wearing a uniform or he has this type of credential that he should get half off. No, he should get what he, deserves. You killed someone, so now you should suffer as how the other person suffered. I think, yeah, you shouldn't just randomly get half because he just got that badge. Or no, you should sit there as a regular person would.
Okay.
Call him somebody else.
Yeah, popcorn like as you go.
All right, I'm popcorn. Popcorn. If they do police officers serve time as a normal person, they should. But I'm a popcorn William if he was paying attention. William, you alive?
Let's go to somebody else because William, he got on last, and
All right.
No, it wasn't really about. It was just a question like, do you think?
yeah, but let's not keep calling on William because
Right.
he started after
Chastity.
you died.
I'll call Chastity then.
Okay, Mr. Gerard in his uniform.
Hey, what's going on? How you feel?
Cool little fit.
Huh?
That's a cool little fit right there.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
What's the question?
Do you feel as though do police officers should get the same time as a normal person if they committed a crime?
Yes, I do. I feel as though they should definitely stay in there like a regular citizen, just like Miss Lisa said. I feel as though it's scary to me how officers could get bail, especially how quick. And some people have to wait a week or two or even weeks, to get bail. So I think that's ridiculous and it's very, I don't want to say aggravating or irritating. It's beyond that when an officer commits a crime and then the next day we see that they're out on bail. I don't care if they can afford it or not, compared to a regular citizen. They shouldn't have that in it.
So, Mr. Gerard, we were all taking time to spotlight. I don't mean to cut you off. So y'all could probably popcorn him next, but to say what you've been getting out of this police reform. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Selena.
No, Officer Gerard, go ahead. You could go.
No, I agree with y'all. When officers commit crimes such as murder or assault, they should get trials in court just like regular civilians do. I mean, because once you commit a crime, then you take away that title, basically, and you basically disgrace, your title. Yeah, I think they should be treated like regular civilians. If I commit a crime, I wouldn't expect to be treated, special just because I was a police officer. I thought personally that when you do commit a crime, you're treated just like a regular civilian. I mean, I'm not really sure. I don't really look into that kind of stuff because I don't plan on committing any crimes. I just want to do my job. But I agree with you guys. Like, if police officers are out here committing crimes, they should get the same treatment as regular civilians. That's my personal opinion.
Great.
Okay. Can I ask my question?
Ask me a question?
Yeah, it's for you. Well, everybody wanted to. Well, we were talking about the body cameras, right? Because I see you have one.
Uh-huh.
we were saying if y'all guys was to turn off your camera and consistently turn it off, what would be the punishment of turning your camera off? Or is
Honestly,
there any?
to my understanding, like there's different punishments for different circumstances. Like I know that police officers get vacation days taken away all the time. That's like the normal punishment for police officers, you know, because we get a lot of vacation days. So most of the time those are taken away. Now, if it's like a serious situation, like if our gun is out, taser's out, or we use some type of force, and we intentionally turn the camera off because sometimes we may make a mistake and bump it or whatever. But if we intentionally do it, then like there's suspension, long investigations. We got to sit out, you know. But it's different levels to it. But I've never like been in that type of situation, so I can't really speak about specifics of what happened. I'm just saying like what I know is the norm. You know what I mean? But like the camera is like the new most important thing in police work because you get to see who's at fault or who is the primary aggressor in certain situations. Is it the police officer or is it the civilian? You know, so we get a chance to actually see what happens in every situation. So the camera is important.